boys and girls. I was just over here at Fellowship Lake, over at the Chambers house. Have you had a great week? I hope so. It's so good to see you again. Are you ready to worship? Stand up. This is a new song, but it goes perfectly with today's lesson. I know you can do it. It's great.
Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous? Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous? All right. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous? Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. Commanded you be strong and courageous? Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous? Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous? Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous?
Joshua 1:9 is a great reminder that we can be strong and courageous with God's help. God is always with us. Courageous is a big word, though. To be courageous means to be brave, to not let fear stop us from doing what we need to do. Let's see if we can find some situations that we would need to have courage and be strong. Are you ready? Let's go! Aha! We need courage when we try new things. Have you ever been nervous to try a new ride at Dollywood or the fair? Sometimes when we're brave, we can have a lot of fun. Are you afraid of the dark? Do you think something might be in your closet? Sometimes we have to be strong and courageous just to do something like going to sleep. Okay, I think we've seen enough. I'm out of here. Shoo! I'm glad that's over. I bet you know what time it is. It's story time. Find a good place to sit and turn your listening ears on, because you won't want to miss today's story. Buck Denver wants to be brave and courageous. So our friends go on an adventure, and they see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and meet an angry king, and then they find Paul in prison. Our Bible verse this week is Joshua 1:9. Caroline, can you read that for us before we get started with our story?
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9.
Buck Denver's Big, Big Bubble, A Lesson in Courage. Written by Phil Vischer, illustrated by Greg Harden and Kenny Yamada. Marcy held on tight. She was up on a ladder hanging streamers for the fall festival. It was a hard job. "Be careful, Marcy," Sunday school lady yelled. The big boinging noise was shaking the ladder, the trees, everything. "What could be making that racket?" Sunday school lady wondered. Just then, Buck Denver came bouncing through the park. He was stuck in some kind of giant bubble, and he was out of control. "Whoa!" Buck shouted as he bounced off a light pole, a park bench, and a statue of Clive and Ian's great-grandfather, the founder of the town.
Be careful.
Clive yelled as he and Ian ran toward the bouncing bubble.
"Yeah, you almost broke Great-Grandpa."
Ian added.
"Sorry,"
Was all Buck could say as his big bubble landed in the bushes and finally stopped bouncing.
Buck, why are you bouncing around in a giant bubble?
Marcy asked. Clive and Ian were helping Buck out of the bubble and the bushes.
"I wasn't supposed to be bouncing. I was supposed to be safe so I could be brave,"
Buck said, brushing leaves off his jacket. Ian was confused.
"How could a giant bubble ball make you brave?"
He asked. Buck tried to explain.
"It's really easy to get hurt when you go outside. You can fall and scrape your knees, and you can bump into things. Other people can hurt you. Even bugs and bees can hurt you."
That's true.
Said Clive.
But bubble ball?
"To keep me safe.
Buck answered.
Nothing can touch me when I'm in my bubble. Everything just bounces right off. Since nothing can hurt me, I can be brave."
Sunday school lady thought about this. "But then you started bouncing," she asked.
"Yeah.
Buck said sadly.
Things bounce off me, but I also bounce off things. I was out of control. I almost broke Clive and Ian's great-grandpa."
Well, not really our great-grandpa.
Clive corrected.
Just a statue of our great-grandpa.
There must be a better way to feel brave,
Said Marcy. Sunday school lady smiled. "I think I know a story that will give you a whole new way to be brave," she said as she pulled out her trusty flannel graph. It wasn't an ordinary flannel graph. Of course, it was a magic flannel graph.
"Is it time for a trip?
Ian asked.
Can we come too?"
"Sure," said Sunday school lady. She tapped on magic flannel graph. And suddenly they weren't standing next to the flannel graph. They were in the flannel graph. Ian loved it.
It's so fuzzy.
He said.
It feels like my favorite pajamas, the ones with the footies in them.
Then Ian noticed something.
But why am I hot?
He asked.
Over there.
Marcy pointed to a big round thing that looked like a huge oven. The fire inside was burning brightly and very, very hot.
Ooh, are they baking cookies?
Ian wondered. Buck looked worried.
I don't think so. Look at those three guys.
3 young men were standing in front of the giant oven. They were tied up. In front of them was a king, a very angry king.
If you don't bow down and pray to my statue, I will throw you into the furnace!
The angry king yelled.
What's going on here?
Buck asked. Sunday school lady explained. Those 3 guys are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They're Israelites, but they aren't in Israel. They're stuck in a country called Babylon, working for that guy. He's the king of Babylon.
Why is he so mad?
Asked Ian.
I think I know this story.
Said Clive.
The king wants everyone to bow down to his statue. But Israelites are only supposed to bow down to God. Not statues or anything else, just God.
And if they don't bow to that statue, they'll be thrown into that fiery furnace?
Buck was amazed.
Don't they look scared?
They know something the king doesn't know, said Sunday school lady. They know their God is real, and he will be with them no matter what. One of the young men spoke up.
We believe our God can save us from the fire.
He said.
But even if he doesn't, we still won't bow down to your statue.
That was really brave,
said Ian.
He doesn't even have a bubble ball to keep him safe,
Buck added. The angry king pointed to the furnace, and the 3 young men were thrown inside. But then something amazing happened.
The king doesn't look angry anymore,
Buck noticed.
He looks really confused.
The king was staring into the furnace.
If we threw 3 men in there, why do I see 4 men walking around?
The king rubbed his eyes and looked again.
A 4th man looks like an angel.
The surprised king called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego out of the furnace, and they weren't hurt at all, said Sunday school lady. They didn't even smell like smoke.
God sent an angel to protect them,
Clive added. Buck was thinking hard.
They had courage because they believed God would be with them, even in a fiery furnace.
That's right, Buck. But Sunday school lady wasn't finished. God was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace. Let's see where else God can be with us. She tapped the ground. The furnace and the king disappeared. Now they were in a dark, cold, dirty room.
Are we in jail?
Marcy asked. It's a prison, said Sunday school lady. And not just any prison, a Roman prison. Buck noticed a man in the corner.
Who is that?
He asked. Clive had an idea.
I think that's Paul, the Apostle Paul.
You're right, Clive, said Sunday school lady. Paul is in prison because he couldn't stop telling people about Jesus. What's worse, he knows he may never get out of prison. Buck looked at Paul with wide eyes.
Is he scared?
Buck asked. He's writing a letter to his friends. Let's see what he says, says Sunday school lady.
Friends,
Paul spoke as he wrote.
what has happened to me has helped spread the good news about Jesus. Yes, I'm in prison, and I might be here for a long time. But because they see God is here with me, everyone is bravely sharing the gospel.
Now Buck Denver was really confused.
I don't get it.
He said.
People are brave because Paul is stuck in prison?
Paul is writing to his friends in Philippi, said Sunday School Lady, telling them how happy he is. Ian was confused too.
And he's happy in prison. Why?
No, I think I get it,
said Clive.
God was with Paul in prison, helping him tell everyone about Jesus.
Sunday School Lady smiled. That's right. Even the guards were hearing about Jesus, and Jesus was changing their lives too.
Seeing Jesus change people's lives made Paul really, really happy,
said Marcy. Buck was still a little confused, though.
But what if Paul never gets out of prison? What if he's stuck there until he dies?
He asked. That's the best part. The part that makes Paul really, really brave. She pointed to Paul as he wrote,
If I live, my life is all about Jesus. And if I die, I will get to be with Jesus.
Paul looked up and smiled, then kept writing.
Which is better?
He asked.
Both are great. Both will make me very, very happy.
Now Buck understood.
Being friends with Jesus makes Paul happy. He can tell people about Jesus in prison, and when he dies, he'll be with Jesus.
That's right, Buck, said Sunday School Lady. Paul has courage not because he thinks nothing bad will ever happen to him, but because he knows when bad things do happen, God will be there with him. She tapped on the ground one last time. Suddenly they were back in the park, standing next to Marcy's ladder and Buck's giant bubble.
I don't need a bubble ball to be brave,
said Buck.
I just need to remember that God is with me no matter what happens.
A bad day at school?
Marcy asked.
God is with me,
Buck answered.
A trip to the dentist?
Clive asked.
God is with me,
Buck answered.
It's great that God is with us.
Ian chimed in.
But
He poked the bubble ball.
what should we do with this bouncy old thing?
Marcy had an idea.
Maybe a bounty bubble could help me get my job done faster.
That was a great story. Now let's see if you were listening. Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Junior Worship Winner, the game show where we see if you were paying attention during today's story. Today we have 3 contestants, Kinley, Jaylee, and Grayson. Let's see if they were paying attention. What do you need to remember if you need to be brave? Contestants, what is your final answer?
God is with me. God is with me.
Go.
God is with me.
Congratulations! You are all Junior Worship winners. Now it's time to stand up and worship the Lord. Yay!
If you've been walking the same old road for miles and miles, if you've been hearing the same old voice tell the same old lies, if you're trying to fill the same old holes inside, there's a better life. there's a better life.
If you got pain,
He's a pain taker.
if you feel lost,
He's a way maker. If you need freedom or saving, He's a prison shaking savior. If you've got chains, He's a chain breaker.
We've all searched for the light of day in the dead of night. We've all found ourselves worn out from the same old fight. We've all run to things we know just ain't right. Well, there's a better life. There's a better life.
if you got pain,
He's a pain taker.
if you feel lost,
He's a way maker. If you need freedom or saving, He's a prison shaking savior. If you've got chains, He's a chain breaker.
if you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify.
If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you got pain, He's a pain taker. If you feel lost, He's a way maker. If you need freedom or saving, He's a prison shaking savior. If you got chains, He's a chain breaker. If you need freedom or saving, He's a prison shaking savior. If you got chains, He's a chain breaker.
So this week, remember, you can be strong, you can be brave, and you can be courageous. How can you have courage knowing God is always with you? Joshua 1:9 reminds us, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.